Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Vermilion. Welcome back to another Call of Duty Vanguard Zombies video, in which today I will go over how you can farm camos while AFK. Now, before I go over this method, this will require some form of macro that will continuously melee for you. So if you consider that cheating, go ahead, click off this video now. I know macros are controversy in this community, but since this is only in zombies, I really don't see this affecting anyone but yourself, and therefore I don't frown upon this, as doing this is similar to how people set up macros to AFK farm in MMOs, and with this year's camo grind taking forever, being able to take a break every now and again helps a lot. After this video is over and this method helps you in any way, consider subscribing or liking the video. It does help me grow, and I love seeing more and more people get involved with the channel. With all that said, let's dive in. In order to do this method, like I mentioned before, this will require some form of macro. I'm on PC, so there are multiple types of software that come with gaming mice like Razer Synapse, Logitech Hub, or Corsair's macro software, all of which allow you to record macros. If you don't have a gaming mouse or gaming keyboard with software similar to this, I'll link a piece of software called Macro Recorder down below, which allows you to record and play macros all on its own. I'm not going to give a tutorial how to set up these macros on this particular software, but there are plenty of tutorials out there for how to use Macro Recorder. So once you have your macro software, in which case I am using Logitech's Hub, create a new macro and make sure that the playback is set to be continuous until you click the button again. Now click record, and after the recording has started, press your melee button once, which for me is my F key on my keyboard. Once it's recorded, click stop, and now that's it. You have your spam macro. You will then want to make sure that once it is toggled on, that it will play continuously. You can do this by opening up Notepad and just seeing if it spams the same key over and over again. Okay, so we set up the macro, but how do we actually AFK farm camos? Well, it's quite easy actually. Just go ahead and grab the weapon you would like to get camos for and hop into a game. You will then want to go a few rounds to pack punch your weapon, and I recommend at least a tier 2 pack a punch to increase your melee damage, as we will also be using the Bloodlust Covenant that will increase your melee damage further and provide health per melee attack. So now that you are set up with the Covenant and a pack-a-punched weapon, make sure you can melee a regular zombie at your round. If not, continue on until you can upgrade the rarity of Bloodlust, or you are able to pack-a-punch to tier 3, as each upgrade gives you an additional 100% melee damage. Once you can one-hit melee zombies and your weapon is pack-a-punched, I recommend hopping into a harvest objective, but you can do this inside of transmit as well. It's a little RNG reliant in terms of placement, but I managed to do this AFK farming spot in several areas. After starting your harvest objective, you will want to find a place where you can back yourself into a corner and make sure that the zombies only come from in front of you. You will then want to prone and toggle your melee macro. Due to the nature of this game, sometimes you can lunge whenever you melee and zombies can move you. Going prone in a corner negates both of these effects to a point. At higher rounds while you do the strat, it is possible for a zombie to randomly get on top of you and kill you. So I suggest doing this at a lower round if you can. You can also get the rapid kills done at a higher round, but again, there is a higher chance of you dying due to the damage the zombies deal and how many spawn in. For one weapon, it took me roughly 2 hours to full AFK farm the 4,000 eliminations. After that point, you can take over and finish out the Boomschreier and Sturmkrieger kills, as well as any leftover critical kills, rapid kills, or kills without getting hit. I said this was an AFK farm. It's not an efficient one though, so some other work will have to be done afterwards, but hey, at least you don't have to sit at a screen for the full 2 hours it takes to finish out Golden Viper per gun. Well, that's the farming method. You can go grab a drink, watch a movie, go outside while this just farms out most of the elimination camos. A little tip before I do wrap up the video though, if you are on console but you own a gaming mouse or a gaming keyboard that can save these macros to the onboard memory, you can use the macro on your console. However, I know a lot of mice and keyboards these days do not allow macros to be saved to the onboard memory, so keep that in mind as you continue your grind to Dark Ether inside of Vanguard Zombies. And if you don't have a macro, you can also just set this up to where you can just press a single button the entire 2 hours you play. So with that said, I hope everyone has a good night or day wherever you are in the world, and I will catch you in the next one.